And last but not least, item 10.4. The Mayor and City Council shall discuss and possibly take action on offering a 3-year employment agreement to Mr. Gregory Rose to serve the City of Maricopa as its city manager. This item is for discussion and action. Yes, Councilwoman Chapados.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion on this item, and I just want to offer a perspective that maybe a lot of you are not aware of. We went through what I consider to be a very arduous, lengthy process. Myself and my fellow council members spent over 24 hours in 2 days a couple weeks ago just going through interviews and talking to people and deliberating amongst ourselves. We involved a number of different people, including community stakeholders. Our directors got a voice in this process. I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed in what I consider at this point to be taking a position without all your information, without all your facts. The 7 of us are sitting here because we represent your voices. We're not going to take anything under consideration, especially something this important, without doing our homework. We did our research. The media, anybody with a computer can Google these names of these candidates and find things if they're looking for things. I can tell you from my own personal perspective, we had 3 candidates that were very qualified. And it was not an easy decision for me. It took a lot of time, a lot of deliberation, a lot of homework outside of council, just reading materials that were provided to us, doing our own research. The mayor and the vice mayor also did some independent research at the direction of council. And we came to a decision that is the agenda item tonight. But part of that process involves us doing homework on your behalf. I can guarantee you that none of us took this decision lightly. We all realize the importance of it. And while I have this opportunity, I want to thank Tricia Sorensen. She has been the consummate professional throughout this procedure. She has come on board, hit the ground running, done a great job, stepped up to the plate. Everything we threw at her, she just took with, okay, been there, done that. What do you guys think we should do? Let's move on and let's keep the wheels rolling. Never skipped a beat. So thank you, Tricia, for your service in these 7 months. But I'm going to tell you, there's things that happen that, as council members, we have a lot more information than perhaps the media has access to and the general public has access to. I think we're doing ourselves, our current staff, and Mr. Rose a disservice by taking a position and making judgments without the man even starting here yet. Give him a chance. I guarantee you that I will be one of 7 council members watching him closely. Now, he has a 3-year contract that we're about to vote on. I'm here a lot. I work with staff, I do my homework, I ask hard questions. I'm going to be looking out for the best interests of Maricopa, but I am going to do my part to make sure that Mr. Rose succeeds in that job, and I hope that the citizens of Maricopa will extend him that same courtesy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Chavez. Anyone else like to say anything before we move to a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to thank my colleague, Councilwoman Chapados, in explaining to the public, those who sent negative emails to all of us, that we did thorough research on Mr. Rose, and to jump to conclusions can be very dangerous and very hateful. But nevertheless, we're very prudent of what we did. I'd like to also thank Trish for her great work that she did as interim city manager. I offer now the name of Gregory Rose to be our next city manager, City of Maricopa.
I second that.
So there is a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on the item? I would just like to echo as well, from a discussion standpoint, that the Vice Mayor and I also went to the City of North Las Vegas and took some time to investigate both referrals as well as those who both liked him and disliked him. And I think we got a good view, and we came back and reported that to the City Council, and we got a good estimation as to who the man is and his well-roundedness. Now, at the end of the day, it's like anybody. You can put somebody in position, and you'll never know how they perform until you get 6 months down the road or 3 months down the road. And one of the things, if you read his contract that was in the in the pamphlet here attached to the agenda is that he actually asked for a 6-month review from council. So not a year, 6 months. And he wants to be reviewed to see if he's doing his job. And I found that to be very refreshing and enlightening.
Extraordinary.
And that's a good thing. It gives us a chance to review and to see if he's doing what he's supposed to. And so to that end, you know, council, I can't tell you things that were said in e-session, but I can tell you that the vetting process and the things that the public said, the emails we received, the feedback that we got, the individual due diligence and research from every positive and negative aspect on each one of these candidates was so thoroughly vetted and thrown around inside this e-session. It was pretty exhausting. I think my council members can echo me on that. We really did our best to go through every single candidate in every situation and possibility. And so to that end, there is a motion on the floor, and with that, Vice Mayor Farrell has something to say as well.
One quick comment. First of all, Councilmember Chavados, that was very, very well said. I couldn't have said it any better. Thank you for making your comments on that. And I got to just echo all of her comments. And this was my personal third national search for a city manager. And I can tell you, sitting on this council for 10 years, I can't recall a more stressful 24 hours. I mean, you can take my word when I tell you these 7 people up here did the due diligence that was necessary in this city manager search. And I can tell you, out of all 3 searches, the reason I think it was so stressful, well, the reason I know it was so stressful is because we had 3 very qualified finalists. And any of them would have done a tremendous job for the City of Maricopa. I'm very confident in that. And that's something that the City of Maricopa should be proud of, because I can tell you in the 2 previous searches, it wasn't half as stressful as this. People didn't rise to the cream like these 3 did. And I just want to, again, take an opportunity to thank Tricia. Tricia, you've done an outstanding job. You've over-exceeded yourself, and we really appreciate all your service you've done to the city. And with that, Mayor, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you. Councilman Potter, and then after Councilman Potter. This is my fault. I apologize. Mr. Henry Wade submitted a speaker card, and I forgot to acknowledge that. I apologize. You'll be asked to come up, Mr. Wade, right after Councilman Potter speaks. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you. This is my first time through, Vice Mayor. You've done it 3 times, and you said it was very strenuous, and I have to admit that weighing this decision, taking the feedback from the public and staff, and everyone's input was very important and very important to me. And I'm not sure if City Council could have done any more vetting with these candidates, as well as the public. And there was continuous email even over the weekend, and I followed up on articles that were online from a few years ago. And I wanted to, it was good advice I was told today, was go ahead and just vote my conscience on this one, because I got to tell you, all the candidates were good. And I had a very good impression of Mr. Rose, but honestly, I want to have, ideally would like to have a clean slate of anyone coming into a position, but I'm not sure how that could be done realistically, given the position of a city manager and being in a position for 6 years in a city that was, up and coming and growing and going through their times in the recession of 2008 and 2009, if anyone can manage without to be scathed at all, given the times of that period, anybody in that position. So I don't know if it was the person or the situation. So with that, and to be fair, I also want to thank the public for their input, and also thank the vetting of council individually. And all the way I took to right now, actually, to decide how I was going to vote. So, but either way, I would like the public and staff, whoever the city manager happens to be that we give the permanent title to, welcome them with open arms and giving them the support, because that's, you know, we're all human up here, and we all do the best that we can. And whoever takes that position as well is human, and we don't necessarily want to look backwards. We want to learn from our mistakes and our errors in a period of prior time, but apply it in a positive way going forward, because our city of Maricopa does deserve that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion items? Well, there's a motion on the floor. Mr. Wade, you were okay? Yes, sir. Thank you very much. To that end, can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Kimball? Yes. Councilmember Potter? Aye. Vice Mayor Farrell? Yes. Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilwoman Gussie?
Yes.
Councilmember Chapados?
Yes.
Mayor Price?
Yes.
Motion passes.